In the heart of Appalachia, a land steeped in ancient forests and whispered legends. Along the misty banks of the Ohio River lies a small town burdened by a singular, chilling legend. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. A place seemingly peaceful by day, yet haunted by a history that defies easy explanation. For generations, this region has been a cradle for folklore, where the veil between the known and the unknown often feels thin. But in the mid-1960s, something undeniably real, something utterly inexplicable, took flight from these very woods. Something no one could explain, and certainly something no one could ever forget. Its name is the Mothman. It's not just a story. It's not just a local myth shared around campfires. It's a terrifying warning, a prophecy, a mystery that has echoed through the generations, shaping the very identity of this riverside community. Before the arrival of the winged horror, Point Pleasant was a typical American small town, known for its busy riverboat traffic, its deep-rooted community spirit, and its connection to both Revolutionary War history and the rugged Appalachian way of life. This area, known as the Kanawha Valley, has always been a crossroads, a place where different cultures met and sometimes clashed. It's the site of the Battle of Point Pleasant in 1774, often considered the first battle of the American Revolution, a place where blood was shed and ancient native lands were contested. This deep history, intertwined with the wild, untamed nature of Appalachia, created a fertile ground for local folklore. Stories passed down about strange lights in the sky, unearthly cries in the deep woods, and unseen watchers in the dark. From haints and boogers to spectral dogs and mysterious vanishing figures, this was a land rich in belief, in mystery, in things unseen, ready, perhaps, for something truly extraordinary to emerge. The tranquility of Point Pleasant was shattered on the night of November 15, 1966. Two young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and their friends Steve and Mary Millette, were driving a 1967 Chevrolet Bel Air. It was just another typical evening cruise, perhaps looking for a quiet spot as they ventured into the desolate and eerily silent TNT area. This sprawling, abandoned munitions plant, a relic of World War II, was already a place of local intrigue. Their car, its chrome reflecting the moonlight, rumbled down the broken, overgrown roads, surrounded by dense forest and the decaying concrete structures of the long-abandoned war site. Then, as their headlights cut through the oppressive darkness, a figure materialized directly in their path. Standing nearly 7 feet tall, it was unmistakably man-shaped, yet utterly inhuman. Enormous wings, like those of a bat or an angel of dread, were folded tightly against its back. But it was its eyes that seized their terror, large, circular, and glowing a fierce, unblinking red. Not like a reflection, but as if they were lit from an internal, malevolent fire. Panic erupted inside the car. Roger Scarberry, reacting instinctively, slammed his foot on the gas pedal. The Bel Air roared, tires spinning on the gravel, attempting to escape the horrifying apparition. But the creature was impossibly fast. As they sped away, looking back, they saw it launching into the air. There were no audible wing beats, no sound of displacement. Just an unnatural, silent movement above them, beside them. Gliding effortlessly, keeping pace with their accelerating vehicle in the dark. Even as Roger pushed the car to speeds over 100 miles an hour, the creature stayed close, a terrifying escort through the night. It moved with a silent, fluid grace that defied any known animal or machine. It was watching them relentlessly. When they finally burst out of the abandoned area and skidded to a stop at the very edge of town near the main road, the creature simply vanished as mysteriously as it had appeared, leaving behind only the chilling echoes of their terror. They immediately drove to the Mason County Courthouse, frantic to tell Deputy Millard Halstead what they had seen. Their story so bizarre, so terrifying that Halstead could only tell them, "I've known these kids all their lives. They don't lie." They were really scared. The Scarberry and Mallet sighting was just the beginning. Within days, the local newspaper, the Point Pleasant Register, published the account under the sensational headline, "Couples see man-sized bird, creature something." Single article, rather than dismissing the claim, opened a floodgate. Reports poured in from all corners of Mason County and beyond. A local firefighter, for instance, reported seeing a similar large bird with glowing red eyes perched on a telephone wire. Marcella Bennett, a local resident, described being paralyzed with fear as the creature stood outside her car, peering in at her and her infant child just days later. Hunters stumbled upon it in the woods. Teenagers driving home from a dance saw it. Even respected police officers gave statements unable to explain what they had witnessed. Some heard chilling, high-pitched screeches that seemed to pierce the very air. Others felt an overwhelming sense of dread, disorientation, or even a temporary paralysis, frozen in place by the sheer, unearthly sight. More than 100 distinct reports were documented within a mere 13 months, all converging on similar descriptions and a profound sense of terror. The town was gripped by a collective paranoia, with residents starting to avoid going out after dark. Journalists like Mary Heyer and paranormal investigator John Keel arrived, drawn by the escalating mystery, inadvertently giving the entity its now famous moniker, the Mothman. Almost every significant sighting linked back to one specific, unsettling location: the sprawling, desolate TNT area. This massive complex, officially known as the West Virginia Ordnance Works, was built with astonishing speed during World War II to manufacture explosive TNT. At its peak, it employed thousands, transforming the local economy. But after the war, by the 1950s, it was largely abandoned. A vast expanse of derelict concrete bunkers, often called igloos, crumbling among thorny vines and thick underbrush. The land itself became a forbidden zone, a place of strange echoes and overgrown secrets. Locals had long reported peculiar activity there, even before the Mothman. Inexplicable flickering lights, disembodied noises, and odd sulfurous smells. The area's unique ecology, with its network of tunnels and isolated ponds, also attracted a diverse range of wildlife. Once the Mothman appeared, many refused to go back, convinced the land was not just abandoned but cursed, a place where the barrier between worlds had worn thin. The climax of the Mothman saga, and a tragedy that indelibly marked Point Pleasant, occurred on December 15, 1967, just over a year after the first Mothman sighting. During the peak of the Christmas rush hour, the magnificent Silver Bridge catastrophically collapsed into the icy waters of the Ohio River. This cantilever bridge, built in 1928, was a vital artery connecting West Virginia and Ohio, a symbol of progress and connection for the community. But a tiny defect, a critical eye-bar chain, failed due to stress, corrosion cracking, causing a chain reaction. Dozens of cars were crossing when the suspension gave way, plunging vehicles and their occupants into the freezing depths below. The town mourned in collective horror. 46 innocent people perished in one of the worst bridge disasters in American history. In the immediate aftermath, a chilling detail emerged. Some witnesses claimed the Mothman had been seen perched on the bridge in the days and hours leading up to the collapse, its ominous red eyes watching the traffic. Others even reported seeing it fly away the moment the tragedy unfolded. Whether it was a malevolent force, an omen, or a desperate herald of disaster, the Mothman's disappearance the very day of the bridge collapse cemented its horrifying legend as a harbinger of doom, not just a strange creature. After the unspeakable tragedy of the Silver Bridge, the Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant abruptly stopped. The fear, the lingering unease did not. And for many, the Mothman was undeniably real, a physical manifestation of a warning or a curse. Attempting to rationalize the events, called it a case of mass hysteria, fear feeding fear, amplified by local superstition and tragic coincidence. Yet in Appalachia, stories don't simply fade away. They get told, retold, passed down through generations, becoming woven into the very fabric of the community's identity. The events prompted intense speculation. Was the creature an alien entity, a biological anomaly, or a paranormal warning? John Keel, the author who chronicled the events in the Mothman prophecies, proposed a complex theory involving UFOs, strange government agents, and a broader pattern of high strangeness. Others whispered about ancient curses, about Point Pleasant's dark past, the old blood spilled during frontier conflicts, particularly the legacy of the Shawnee Chief Cornstalk, who was controversially murdered in Point Pleasant in 1777 while under a flag of truce. Some believe his dying curse on the land laid the groundwork for all future misfortunes, including the Mothman and the bridge collapse. These theories, no matter how wild, provided a framework for a community grappling with the unexplainable. Today, over half a century later, Point Pleasant hasn't forgotten its terrifying visitor. Instead, the town has remarkably embraced the legend, transforming fear into fascination and tragedy into a unique cultural identity. The town is now home to the dedicated Mothman Museum, filled with artifacts, newspaper clippings, eyewitness accounts, and memorabilia, meticulously preserving the creature's lore. Every September, the annual Mothman Festival draws thousands of curious tourists, researchers, and believers from around the world. The streets fill with vendors selling Mothman-themed wings, t-shirts, and red-eyed masks. Children run around playfully imitating the creature. It's a vibrant, almost celebratory acknowledgement of the inexplicable. And in the very center of it all, a silent, imposing guardian stands watch. The iconic, gleaming chrome Mothman statue. Wings wide, eyes perpetually red and unblinking, it serves as a permanent, tangible reminder of the days of terror, a testament to the enduring power of a story that simply refuses to die. Whether the Mothman was a genuine, unknown biological entity, a paranormal manifestation, a collective hallucination, or a prophetic omen, one thing is undeniably certain: he left an indelible mark on Point Pleasant. His presence, brief but impactful, forever altered the perception of this small Appalachian town. He exists in the shadowed woods, in the anxious minds of the people who saw him, and deep within the very soul of a town that still wonders, even celebrates, what it saw. The legend of the Mothman speaks to our primal fears of the unknown, our fascination with things that defy logical explanation, and our inherent need to find meaning in the midst of chaos and tragedy. And in Appalachia, a land where ancient mysteries linger and the mountains hold countless secrets, wonder has always walked hand in hand with belief. The Mothman reminds us that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, forever hovering just beyond our grasp, keeping the curious and the terrified looking up into the shadows. What do you think? Is it a warning from the beyond or just a wild legend? If this story gave you chills, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more tales that mix fact with folklore. Got a mystery you want me to dive into next? Drop it in the comments and I'll catch you next time.